Head right to a live look at the South Waterfront and Portland's ICE facility, which has been the site of near nightly protests for months, albeit on a small scale, and where we have seen federal officers sometimes clash with demonstrators. Right now, we're seeing what we call a pretty typical number of protesters with no agents visible. Though about 20 minutes ago, we watched as federal officers with shields escorted a vehicle out of the facility. Again, fairly normal, if we can use that word, though it appears there were more officers coming out than usual. The president has zeroed in on this spot a handful of times, claiming without offering evidence that paid agitators and anarchists have been out and ruining the city. Now, speculation aside, and there is a lot of it swirling this evening, we want to run through what we've observed and what we know right now. Around 7 this evening, our photographer witnessed more than 50 SUVs filled with what appear to be federal agents loading up and leaving the Customs and Border Patrol office that is in Northeast Portland. They were in plain clothes and wore masks over their faces as they drove by. At the same time, over a dozen local leaders, including the mayor, county chair, a senator, and congresswoman, held a news conference saying they were observing, quote, signs of an increased federal presence. That said, Senator Jeff Merkley indicated he did not know which agencies they were with, how many were here, or critically, their purpose. Okay, that is the big picture. Let's get to live team coverage. Catherine Cook is live at the ICE facility along South McAdam. But first to Alma McCarty at the federal building downtown with what local leaders, both elected and in the community, are urging tonight. Alma?
Yeah, David, their message tonight at a press conference was loud and clear. Federal agents sent by the president may be here in Portland in force, but they do not want them here. They do not need them here, while also urging Portlanders not to take the bait.
This may be a show of force, but that's all it is. It's just a big show.
Inside a Northeast Portland church.
We have no tolerance for anyone in Portland who uses this difficult moment to hurt others or our home.
Leaders from the city, the county, and the state stood in solidarity.
I ask all community members to remain vigilant as you care for your neighbors and your loved ones. Let's not be baited by federal bullying tactics.
Together, calling an influx of federal agents sent to Portland an unneeded overreach and an attempt to sow chaos within the city.
A desperate excuse to bring conflict and chaos to Portland that would be used to justify further escalation.
Well, I want to be very clear. I see no operational, I see no legal reason for any federal agents or increase in federal agents to be on the streets of Portland.
We want safe, locally governed communities, and we will stand together peacefully and resolutely against any attempt to take that away.
Portland pastors also joining the press conference, condemning efforts at division.
And to the President of the United States, please back off. Go back and let us be. We love each other.
Stand against evil and stand against hate and stand against division.
Protesters who've been outside the ICE facility in South Portland for months say they've dealt with aggression from federal agents.
You showed up here to look like a show of force, but you haven't been doing jack for the community.
And interrupted Friday's news conference with some strong words for city leaders.
They are showing support now because they know we can no longer be ignored, because we have made enough noise that it is making them look bad. That is why they're finally starting to show up.
Well, when asked about how Portland police could respond, the mayor basically said that if there is any violence, if there is any vandalism, then officers will act. However, as per city policy, they will never work with any federal agents on any federal immigration actions. We, of course, reached out to the Bureau and to the police chief for a comment, and we haven't heard back yet. David, back to you.
Yeah, worth noting that they have been silent tonight. Alma McCarty downtown. Thanks, Alma.